Hello, everyone. Ketchy1383 with Ketchy Gaming, and I'm finally able to make a video on Star Fox on the Switch 2 because I'm not really sure if I should call it a remaster, remake, or re anything. I mean, yeah, there's some people who read about the new animation style, but other than that, I don't really know how to classify it other than Star Fox on the Switch 2, so we'll go with that. So when I first started the game, I actually checked out the menus first after watching the prologue. I didn't want to be caught by surprise like I did with Mario Tennis Fever, where I could change the inputs of things I didn't like and make the game so much easier. And then I also want to explore all the other fun stuff that they might have in store. I mean, there's nothing really surprising about the general settings like audio and video and stuff like that. There's no surprises there. And that's when I checked out the amiibo and I pulled out the amiibos that I do have just to see what we would get for scanning them. And it's just multiplayer avatar stuff, nothing all that special. I mean, I guess some people it is because you get to play as that character in a sort of way. I mean, they have your picture, or I should say, the character in the corner, and I know they link the camera to the character. I mean, I won't touch it because I don't have a camera that's compatible with the Switch, and I'm probably never ever going to buy one that is. But I went through and just looked at all the stuff, and so this was the part that was kind of surprising is that they locked some of the profile pictures behind more or less achievements, just a way of sneaking in achievements there and actually giving you an reward for them, which was nice because it actually gives you something to strive for just to maybe just accomplish it. Or if you really, really wanted a profile picture, it's something to strive for. So I found that part kind of neat. So let's get into the campaign of the game, where they added several cutscenes along with a new animation style. Now, some of these cutscenes have alternate, I don't know, versions, depending on if you successfully are able to complete the tasks necessary to go off on a different path during the game. Some of the dialogue's the same, but I'll actually add new dialogue to it as well. Now, in terms of the animation, I am just going to double down and say that I like it. I like the more realistic look that they have going on for the new version of Star Fox. Some people said Nintendo lost their mind. Honestly, I'm gonna disagree. I like it. I like the direction they went to. Yeah, they look a little on the Yagwai side, but I like it overall. I mean, the animation in general throughout the whole entire game is just absolutely gorgeous. And the updated voice acting is actually a lot better than it is in the 64 version. Part of that is it was limited due to the hardware of the Nintendo 64, but the tone and the cadence and everything is just so much better. Even Slippy, as annoying as he was in the 64 version, is so much better in this new version. I don't want to, strangle him to death every time he talks. And I know there's like one or two actual Slippy fans from the Nintendo 64 era. I don't know what's wrong with you if that's the case, but the new Slippy's much better. Now, the other thing I guess I want to touch on is that yes, they are still bipedal, but since they went with that more realistic look, they took away the long, flat-footed design and gave them feet that are more in line with their species. Well, sort of. Slippy actually has regular human feet, while Falco has bird feet. Fox has his canine legs. I don't. Even Peppy there has feet that, although in boots, are definitely sort of standing on his hind legs, similar to that of Fox. I guess Nintendo didn't let Universal in on that little tidbit there.
Oh, I also have cool space boots.
In terms of gameplay, yes, it is extremely similar to Star Fox 64. Like they said, it was a remake where they kept the layout the same. And yes, the enemies do spawn in the same places as the enemies in the 64 version of the game. But with the new visuals that they have, they've added a whole bunch more detail to the game. And it actually kind of, in a sort of sense, alters it on a fundamental level. Although the enemies, yes, are appearing at the same time as in the 64 version, it does actually have a bit of a distinct feel to it. Now, it does actually play a little bit smoother as well. And if I were to kind of guess, they did not use the 64 version, they used the 3DS version of the 64 game because I did actually play that a little bit to use footage for it, and I kind of accidentally sort of deleted it because I wanted to use some of it, but oops a daisy. And the two of them feel very similar in terms of their control. I mean, yes, the Switch version is much smoother and also a lot prettier version, but that's a given obvious considering the hardware. And before anyone says anything, I actually intentionally did not go through those stone rings on purpose because I was just doing, I guess, a linear path through what used to be designated as the easy version of the game. I think it's been a while. They've added a bunch of other details, like if you shoot the trees down below, they will catch on fire, which is kind of neat. It's not all sunshine and rainbows here. So we get to one specific planet in the game, that being Titania, and Fox is like, get the Landmaster, which makes it sound like they've been using it for a while. But if you go to the planet Macbeth, it's a different story altogether. Uh, Slippy introduces it as a brand new piece of equipment that really hasn't been used or even known that it was around. I mean, it's just a few inconsistencies, and that's just like one of the most glaring ones. But one of the other things is, and I don't know why, but when I was playing on Macbeth, it was fine. It was had a good time using the Landmaster. On Titania, it was just like I don't know what was going on. There was a huge delay between rolling with the Landmaster versus on Macbeth, and I don't know why. I mean, it was just the weirdest thing I've ever experienced where there's like this weird delay in the controls. And I don't know why. This is the only time that I experienced any issues with the controls in terms of the game was during this portion with the Landmaster. Even the Blue Marine, when I was using that, I had zero issues with that. Now, in terms of the overall gameplay, it's still Star Fox 64, maybe a lot smoother. And I don't know if that's going to be like a negative for some people. I find it enjoyable. I've been wanting to play this game again, just not on my 3DS, but on my 64. But I need to do a recap on that, so I can't actually play it on my 64. So to be honest, the timing on this was just perfect as far as I'm concerned. I get to play the game with updated visuals, new cutscenes, better voice acting. They even kind of have achievements in some shape or form. Now, I know a lot of people aren't exactly too happy about a lot of remakes happening. In this case, I don't mind it so much. It's kind of in similar to how I feel about the Ocarina of Time. Yes, I loved the game as a kid. Hasn't aged well due to the limitations of the hardware. But the game is fun. I'm enjoying it. I'd recommend this game, especially if you've never even played Star Fox before, or if you played Star Fox Zero, that you're going to enjoy this a lot better. And I guess there's a 2DS, or it was just a DS version one. Yeah, that's a that's a whole different can of worms. With that though, let me ask what you guys thought of the animation style. Like I said, I like it. I like the Yagwai look that they have going on. Mainly the improved visuals. That actually just has helped a lot. Surprisingly. Usually I try and emphasize gameplay over visuals, but yes, visuals do play a huge part in enjoying a game. Not necessarily always the case, but in this case, I think it actually helped improve it a lot. Anyways, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. Have a good one.